Man named it Pern, and launched 3 immense colony ships that scythed across the vast reaches of It was nearing the end of the 7th pass, and 2 young men had been selected as candidates for impression. As the crowds gathered at the hatching grounds, the candidates prepared themselves for the ceremony to begin. The 2 could not have been more different. The elder, Roth, driven by ambition and family expectancy, eagerly awaited the arrival of the dragon that was to merge thought and consciousness, to become one with him. The other, Dalcor, was filled with fear. He had heard the tales about the dangers these ceremonies held. And when the egg cracked, the fledgling dragon began to make his way out of its shell. Roth stepped closer, pushing Dalcor aside, ignoring all sense of occasion and respect. The crowd stood on in awe and waited for the beautiful creature to break into the Pern air and select its rider for the first and only time. Roth leaned forward, waiting for the dragon to reach out and touch his mind. But the dragon pushed past him, knocking him to the ground, and advanced over to the terrified Dalcor. The young boy stared back, petrified, as the awesome beast studied his face. Then deep within his mind he heard a voice calling him soft and comforting. "Greetings, Dalcor. I am Zenth." The dragon spoke, using Dalcor's new dragon name. Zenth had chosen him. They were now as one, their thoughts intertwined forever. Dalcor had become a dragon rider. Roth stared on, bewilderment and confusion plain on his face. How could such a mighty animal possibly not select him? All his expectations were suddenly shattered as he pulled himself off the rocky floor. As Dalcor bonded with his new soulmate, Roth looked up to see his father turn his back, devastated by his son's failure, abandoning him to wallow in his own dishonor. Roth cried out to his father, but his cries fell on deaf ears. They had gone. Disgraced by his family, Roth was sent to Healer Hall in a bid to salvage his career, whilst the timid Dalcor grew strong and followed his destiny to the skies, with Zenth at his side forever.
Good morning, Nicole. Bad dream?
Too much wine is all. A new shipment from Bendon arrived last night.
I know.
Everyone had a good time, though. Just as Nalia would have wanted.
She was a good whalewoman.
She'll be missed around here.
None will miss her more than Morath. She is desolate and risks leaving her clutch.
A gold never leaves her clutch, with or without their werewoman.
There is always a first time.
Then we must find a new werewoman for the golden egg in the hatching ground. I'm sure Sabor realizes the situation.
He does. My hide itches to call.
You always itch. Your hide and your belly are all you think about.
My hide needs oiling. The oil is on the shelves, unless you knocked it off in a stupor last night. The brush should be nearby. Would you like me to tell you how to use items in your inventory?
I think with my clouded head that would be useful.
Open your inventory by pressing the inventory button. Now select the oil. Your inventory will close when you do, and the item will appear in your pocket on the main screen. Whichever item is in the large circle on the right is the item you will use when you press the Use button. Walk over to me. Make sure that the item is in your pocket, and then press the Use button. Whichever item is in the large circle on the right is the item you will use when you press the Use button. Walk over to me. Make sure that the item is in your pocket, and then press the Use button. Whichever item is in the large circle on the right is the item you will use when you press the Use button. Walk over to me. Make sure that the item is in your pocket, and then press the Use button. Whichever item is in the large circle on the right is the item you will use when you press the Use button. Walk over to me. Make sure that the item is in your pocket, and then press the Use button. now follow the same procedure with a brush. I said my hide itches to call.
I heard you the first time. My head hurts enough without you intruding.
Then oil my hide, and I'll be quiet. Thanks to Kor. Yugath has told me that Sabor wants to meet with you and the rest of the wing later in the day.
Regarding a new werewoman, no doubt.
A search is required. No suitable candidates are here in the weir. We must go to the hold.
I'm not sure the other riders will like that too much. They think hold stock is inferior.
Nonsense. It is what is on the inside that is important to us, not where they come from. The Red Star has almost passed. Soon traditions will have no meaning.
Perhaps. It has been known that the Hold Lords will begin to question our purpose on Pern. We shall have to wait and see.
Craftmaster Dawn has let me know that your riding gear is repaired from the thread scores on it. You can pick it up whenever you like. And do something about your sore head. It's setting me on edge.
Thanks, Zenth. I will.
Hello, lad. How's the head?
A bit sore. I don't think Zenth is too happy with me either.
Brent, too. Nothing worse than a dragon with a sore head. I'll bet Natoth is fuming this morning after what Neth did last night.
And what did Neth do?
You don't know? Well, far be it from me to tell you and risk the fellow further embarrassment.
Very well. Zenth tells me I left my knife with you last night.
I took it from you after you decided to scribe your name in one of the gaming tables.
That bend in wine was to blame. I hardly ever drink it.
I'd better show you how to use that knife in the way it's intended.
A good idea. I could use the practice.
Right, lad. Arm yourself. Go into your inventory and select the knife. Right. To use the combat stance that Jacob taught us when we were Weirlings, press the action button. Good. You've kept your form, I see. Whilst holding the action button, you can circle around your enemy by pressing left or right. Give it a try. Right. Now press forward once to do a light attack. Easy, lad. You nearly ripped my shirt. Now press and hold forward to do a heavy attack. Excellent. Bear in mind, though, that a heavy attack takes longer, and you'll be vulnerable for a moment. Watch your enemy and how they move to gauge when is a good time to strike. Now try defending. Press down to defend at any time. You've remembered well. You can move and attack or defend too. Trying to get around the side of an enemy will give you an advantage. Also, the more you fight, the stronger you'll get. So now my blood's all fired up. Do you want to spar for a while?
Why not? Defend yourself.
That's the spirit. You'll soon forget about that sore head.
Oh! 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 Ow! Ow! Oh! Oh! Ow! Oh!
That's enough for today. I'm worn out before I've begun.
The core. You have just earned your first skill. There are many more to find on Pern, all of which will give you enhanced abilities. To obtain them all will be a difficult task, as you must find a person with that skill to teach you. Also, you cannot use a new weapon until you are taught how. Press the inventory button to see which skills you have obtained. They are shown on the left. When you find a new one, then that skill badge will appear in its own slot. Would you like me to repeat that?
No, but thank you. When is this meeting going to start?
Hello,
Hello,
Imara.
I was just admiring your work.
Thank you. I call it the world of Pern tapestry. When it's finished, it will show the whole of Pern in fine detail.
That's fascinating. Very beautiful.
In order to complete it, I need someone very reliable to gather information for me, someone whose reputation precedes them.
Here to lose money to this gambling fool?
Aye, and a share of my wits too, knowing the way he plays.
Are you calling me a cheat?
No, just a man who's unreasonably lucky with dice.
Well, I shall leave you to it. I'll see you at Sabor's meeting later on.
I suppose, although I think the more traditional among us will not like what he has to say.
Oh, it's you. What do you want?
I wanted to talk for a while.
I suppose you've heard about this meeting with Sabor?
As is every writer, I presume.
I think it's disgraceful that we have to lower ourselves to look for inferior stock in the holds. It is breaking tradition.
If breaking tradition allows us to have a new werewoman and save the future of our dragons, then so be it.
But the were has always bred people for impression. Especially the werewoman.
Why are you so afraid of change? Do you think that now the holds and halls have little use for us, they will begin to question our purpose?
Never. The dragon riders are the only reason their homes have not been razed to the ground and their flesh seared from their bones.
And they should be grateful? They do provide for us after all. It's a fair exchange.
Wary teeth, man. The riders are superior in every respect. Apart from some idiot greens like Nueth. There are some characters out for his blood after his escapade last night.
No one seems to be able to tell me what he did. I think Sabor may have something to say on the matter.
Shells, man. Sabor is a fool, as are most of the riders here. Always talking about how things must change with the times. Well, I'm too long in the tooth to start thinking differently. The current ways have lasted for hundreds of turns for a good reason. They won't change now. You'll see.
Whatever you say, Faben. I can see there's no point in arguing with you.
I'll be there as soon as I've finished reading these ballads. Actually, Vahul said he would lend me one of his, but he hasn't got around to it. If you see him, could you get it for me?
Good morning, Decor. You looked like you were having fun last night.
I was, what little I can remember of it.
Nalaya would be pleased to know we celebrated her life so vigorously.
And some more vigorously than others.
You mean Neff? He made a proper display of himself, so I hear. I didn't see anything but rumors of flying this morning about him and one of the kitchen staff.
What do you mean?
Never mind that now. I'm glad you've arrived, Decor. I found this book in the gambling hall last night, and I don't quite know what to do with it. I don't know who it belongs to.
Well, if anyone has lost it, I'm sure they will come looking.
Decor?
Yes?
Do you know what day it is? The same day it was when you found me that pearl last term.
Your name day?
Could be, Decor, could be. But don't worry yourself with it. I'm sure you have more important things on your mind.
Decor, you remember what trouble that caused last term, don't you? You spent days searching for a pearl, letting your wear duties slip. Bronzes and greens are never...
I know, Zenth. I know.
Good. We do have more important things to do than fishing, Decor.
Oh, a dragon rider. Thank the first egg.
What's the matter, Jillian? You seem distressed.
It's my boy, Jim. He's been gone all night and I'm worried out of my mind.
Where was he seen last?
He went to the wereball last night to play with Jax and the other children, but never came back. Thank you. My husband, Moulin, is already out looking. If you see him, he may be able to help.
And where do you think you're going?
What's behind that curtain?
The Weir Leader's private reading room, and only those of considerable reputation are allowed in there, I'm afraid.
Hello. And who might you be?
The name's Finn. I'm here from Harper Hall.
A runner? What brings you to Fort Ware?
I bring the news that Salin, head woman of Harper Hall, sends her condolences upon the loss of werewoman Nalaya to the Ware of Fort.
Send Salin our thanks and our good wishes.
Very well, Decor. I bid you farewell in the knowledge that I shall see you again, perhaps sooner than you think.
Hey, how do you know my name?
Yes, Decor? Yes, Decor?
What can you tell me of this place? When is this meeting going to start?
Who are you?
I'm Decor.
Well, Decor, when at least you become more conversant, perhaps we will speak. Go now, I'm busy. You can't go out there. It's way too dark yet. You'll have to wait until daybreak.
I can't concentrate on this writing with people hanging over my shoulder.
Well, I'm sorry to have disturbed you.
Oh my, a dragon rider. Forgive me, sir. I meant no offense.
You're forgiven. What are you doing?
I'm here from Harper Hall to deliver a new batch of skins to the Wayleader's personal collection. However, I forgot a couple of important ballads, so I'm scribing them now.
Decor, I take it Zenth told you your riding gear was ready.
He did.
Here. Nasty marks on the hide. And you got through that without a scratch?
A little bruise, but nothing to worry about. That jacket has lasted me for countless turns. It must have been the hide of the most stubborn wear on Pern. Karan's wing has taken over threat fighting duty now, anyway. So I suppose that is the end of the action for me.
I'm sure something's just round the corner to keep you busy.
I have a feeling you may be right.
Haven't got time to talk, Decor. Feels like I have the whole of the weir's clothing to fix. Oh, if you see my Imogen anywhere, tell her to leave those poor trundle bugs alone and come see me. Oh, if you see my Imogen anywhere, tell her to leave those poor trundle bugs alone and come see me.
Good morning, Decor. I trust you had a good night last night.
Don't start, Ned. I've had enough from Zenth. Anyway, I heard that your night was better than mine.
I'm so embarrassed, Decor. The news must be all round the weir by now.
Pretty much. But no one seems to be able to tell me what you did.
Well, it's rather a sorry affair. Azoth is ready to mate, and we Green Riders have a tendency to, how shall I put it, become on edge when our dragons are ready to fly.
And you were on edge last night?
So much so that between Azoth and the Bend and Wine, I think I may have become a bit too forceful in an argument.
How forceful?
I think I drew my knife on someone, but I can't remember who.
By the first egg, what are you going to do?
Well, I would apologize, but I don't know who to apologize to. And I'm afraid to go out of my weir for fear of a dagger in the back. Do you think you could see your way to finding out who it was and apologize on my behalf?
Well, I'm sure it was unintentional. I'll ask around for you.
Thank you, Decor. You do me a great honor.
Greetings, Decor. How are you this morning?
A little fragile after Nalaya's wake.
And how is Marath, our gold? Rumour is she may fly her clutch.
Morath is melancholy, yes, but Zenth has not mentioned anything. It is unheard of for a gold to leave a clutch.
Well, I suppose you'd know.
How goes it with the tithe? The Bend and Wine that came in yesterday was a welcome addition.
I couldn't get it off the cart quick enough. Aye, the tithes seem in order, although there is a great shortage of ores in this last shipment.
As long as we have enough food for the cold, the ores can go hang.
But it's not like the master miner to leave us short. I'll have to ask the trader that brought it in.
Yes, Decor?
Nothing right now.